Recently, the government has announced the mandatory blending of compressed biogas (CBG) with piped gas delivered to households and compressed natural gas (CNG) for the transpire sector in an effort to increase the consumption of biofuels. CBG blending obligation (CBO) will promote production and consumption of compressed biogas (CBG) in the country. In a major step towards enhancing use and adoption of CBG, the National Biofuels Coordination Committee (NBCC), chaired by Union Petroleum Minister, announced the introduction of phase-wise mandatory blending of CBG in CNG transport or PNG domestic segments of CGD sector. CBG blending obligation (CBO). CBO will be voluntary till 2024 to 2025 and mandatory blending obligation would start from 2025 to 26. CBO shall be kept as 1%, 3% and 4% of total CNG, PNG consumption for 2025 to 26, 2026 to 27 and 2027 to 28 respectively. From 2028 to 29 onwards CBO will be 5%. A central repository body, CRB, shall monitor and implement the blending mandate based on the operational guidelines approved by Minister, PNG. Key objectives CBO are to stimulate demand for CBG in CGD sector, import substitution for liquefied natural gas, LNG, saving in forex, promoting circular economy and to assist in achieving the target of net zero emission etc. It will encourage investment of around 30,500 crore and facilitate establishment of 750 CBG projects by 2028 to 29. About compressed biogas, CBG. Compressed biogas, CBG, is a blend of hydrocarbon gases and vapors that is mostly made up of gaseous methane, which is formed during the breakdown of plant and animal waste and is then compressed, cleaned, and used as fuel for automobiles and other industrial purposes. Components of biogas: biomethane, CH4, carbon dioxide, CO2, water vapor, H2O, hydrogen sulfide, H2S, ammonia, NH3. Significance of compressed biogas, CBG. India's natural gas production stands at 34,000 million standard cubic meters of gas, MMSCM, while its consumption is at 64,000 MMSCM, resulting in a significant deficit of 30,000 MMSCM. This deficit, accounting for 47% of the total consumption, is met through imports. Compressed biogas, CBG, can help plug this gap. Over the past few years, CBG has emerged as a viable alternative to imported fossil natural gas, offering nearly net zero emissions and enhancing energy security. Various waste and biomass sources, such as cattle dung, agricultural waste, and distillery spent wash, press mud, organic fraction of municipal solid waste and sewage treatment plant sludge, undergo anaerobic decomposition to produce biogas. The biogas is then turned into a gas that is primarily methane, more than 90%, through purification, which involves removing carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide and moisture. This gas is further compressed to high pressure, 250 bar, to produce CBG. Key challenges. One of the primary challenges in establishing CBG plants is the lack of a reliable and consistent supply of feedstock, which renders the projects financially unviable. Establishing a bio-CNG plant requires a significant amount of capital investment. At present, oil marketing companies acquire bio-CNG from plants based on a best endeavor approach, which puts plant owners at a disadvantage as they may be left with unsold product. Inefficient source segregation of municipal solid waste is a problem for biogas plants, because it can lead to the contamination of the feedstock used in the biogas production process. Most of the equipment and machinery required for bio-CNG plants, such as digester fabrics, biogas upgrading units, storage tanks, compressors, dispensers, and monitoring and control systems or software, are often imported and may have limited availability. The absence of a long-term bioenergy strategy with no clear mandates and obligations can create significant barriers for the growth and development of the biogas industry. For example, policies like SUTAT have their tenure ending in 2023, with no clear roadmap in place about what to do after it. Possible recommendation made by experts linking bio-CNG plants with city gas distribution networks is crucial for their expansion and success. It is essential to implement a policy which mandates fertilizer companies to procure CBG plant fertilizer at a fixed price, similar to the SUTIT program for CBG procurement. There is an urgent need to install a pool of advanced and decentralized biomass management equipment at the village level, along with mechanisms to regulate feedstock prices. Sustainable financing and timely regulatory approvals are absolutely necessary to achieve CBG installation targets. Various global and government initiatives, SUTIT, Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation scheme, it is launched by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It aims to establish an ecosystem for producing compressed biogas, CBG, from various waste, biomass sources and promote its use along with natural gas. The Galvanizing Organic Bioagro Resources 𝐮𝐩𝐝𝐴RDHAN scheme. It was launched by the Government of India to convert cattle dung and solid waste in farms to bio-CNG, CBG, and compost. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jaiv Indhan Vatavaran Anukul Fasal Avshesh Nivaran Yojana, Viable Gap Funding, VGF, for 2G bioethanol using lignocellulose biomass and other renewable feedstock. Western countries like Germany, Italy, the UK, France, and Switzerland promote biogas usage by supporting legal frameworks, education schemes, and the availability of technology. It is the Global Trade Association for the Biogas, Landfill Gas and Anaerobic Digestion (AD) sectors dedicated to facilitating the adoption of biogas globally. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Petroleum and Natural Gas has flagged the issue of slow progress on CBG on various occasions. The panel had observed that schemes like SUTIT were burdened by a lack of clarity and procedural hurdles and were unable to attract investors and entrepreneurs. The committee had also recommended financial assistance to entrepreneurs willing to set up CBG units and called upon the public sector oil and gas companies to build CBG plants from their own funds to demonstrate the viability of such projects and instill confidence among potential investors.